Team Zero Series Podcast. I am Wells. And today we have back from one of the most popular episodes we ever had, and it's not even a debate.
Ooh.
I get stopped by people who, not just random people in the street. It wasn't that popular, but like people that we know will be like, "Oh man, I didn't know you had a podcast," and I'm like, "How'd you know I did?" "Oh, you had those chicks on it, and it was really good." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Thank you." So coming back, we have Seb and Meg. Say what's up.
Hey.
Holla.
Hi.
And we brought them on to the Zero Series so we could just let them swear.
Fuck. Shit. Piss. Cunt.
There you go.
Fuck. Cocksucker. Motherfucker.
Tits, fart, turd, and twat.
Done.
It's all out. There you go.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
what the Zero Series is we haven't done one in a while. Myself, and it'll be myself, Smythe, or Nash will be in hosting it with someone else. So what we're doing with this episode is we're just gonna go over like a 2018 recap of a few topics I chose, and I don't know. We're just gonna like go over the year that was in some particular topics. I don't know. I've kind of mixed it up. It goes from one thing to another. There's nothing really all the same. We got sports, we got entertainment, we got technology, even grocery stores. So
It's important.
yeah. Did I miss
Nutrition.
anything here? Did you guys want to add anything on,
No.
or like feel free to as we go through? If
I'm
you
sure
if you
we'll
don't have
go
an
on tangents.
answer, then
Pass.
yeah,
That'd be a
pass.
lot. There's some things I wanted to talk, but they're too visual, and this is not a visual medium,
Well,
so it might be hard. But maybe they'll come up organically.
what do you mean, like?
I think
Yeah.
twice I was like best meme of 2018.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
It's really tough.
I mean, if you describe it the best you could,
I might. We'll see. We'll see if it gets to that.
sure.
We can
It
talk
won't.
about it.
We'll see
It
how
won't.
creative.
Won't.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Nope,
so
this is fun. This is good.
anything else you guys want to talk about before we start this? Like, what did you guys think about your
Yeah.
podcast that you guys hopped on? Like, did you enjoy it? How was the feedback?
Great.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was really surprised actually by like some people that came up to me at work and were like,
Yeah.
Really?
"Hey, I listened to your podcast,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "You?"
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
and I like then felt bad that they had to sit through all those like NFL picks at the beginning because
Yeah. Oh, you guys both went 1-4, by the way, that week.
1 and 4.
Yeah.
Really
Hey.
equal. Oh shit! And I had
Okay.
some like thought behind it. You just guessed. Oh
Well,
my
you know
God.
what? No, I'm glad to know I didn't do well because if
Yeah.
I had done well, I would have felt like I had to now invest in the NFL. And
There you go.
I'm not about to do that.
So you're saying people at your work were like into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like just from seeing it posted on Facebook or Instagram, they like just checked it out to see what it was all about. And
I agree. People ask me, they're like, "Do you get paid for this?" I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe I should now."
Oh.
Right?
Oh, I don't know, because it's all about ad revenue, and like the more clicks you get, the more
Yeah.
the chance you have for ads. And I mean, I didn't see the numbers, but just going on like
they were skyrocketing.
Huge.
yeah, for sure.
They skyrocketed.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we had
It
to
was
have
fun.
you guys
I
back.
believe you mean huge.
Huge.
Huge. No, we're happy to be back.
Did you have anyone stop you in the streets, or
Yes. Yes.
I was getting
Pull you
recognized
over?
everywhere.
David from Harvard.
they heard your voice? They turned
they go,
around.
"Oh,
It's pumpkin spice. We know this. I guess. Signed some autographs. We may have just imposed ourselves on random strangers and just said, "No, you know who we are," and they're like, "Please get away from us." No, but it was good.
Overall, great experience.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Really cool.
obviously
Back at
it was
it.
decent enough that you guys wanted to come back and do something else. Again, it's a bit different. It's not sports, but it's
I feel like sports
Yeah.
will come back
Sure.
in this very
Sure.
quickly.
maybe, I don't know when. Maybe
Yeah.
when we do our figure skating episode.
Figure skating.
Some triple sow cows up in her.
What's the other one? The
Triple axle,
axle, right? Sow cows.
toe loop,
axle,
sow cow,
toe-
loop,
yeah, Here we go.
axle.
Stoica.
Yeah.
Now she's showing off. Okay, so let's get into the best of 2018 in this bizarre list that we have here. Like I said, it's going to go up and down, topic to topic. And so let's just start off with probably what we do the best is go to bars in this city. Oh, by the way, disclaimer, like for random people who don't know what this like, we're based out of Toronto. So if we talk about like best bar in the city, or I don't know, best grocery store that we've been to,
Very
then
Canadian.
then yeah, this
Yeah.
is all basically Toronto based. Unless like we're talking about like a best TV show or something, then it's not Toronto based. Unless you're down
Might
with
be.
Kim's Convenience. I don't know.
Heck
There you go.
yes. Oh, I don't have to say heck. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll start off with our first topic. Is what did you guys find was? Now I'm kind of in quotations putting new bar in Toronto because I don't know when some of these places open up. But like,
Right.
what's the best bar you discovered this year in Toronto? And I'll start with Meg because she says it's not prepared.
I'm not prepared for any of this, and I'll tell you why. And sorry to backtrack a little bit. I need to add another personal disclaimer.
Sure.
But Wellesley sent me this list to prepare for, and it was all like best, favorite. I don't think there was any worst on there, but just like reading the list, it gave me huge anxiety. Like I don't do well with superlatives, like picking a favorite or a best anything. I have never been able to do that through my entire life. So just disclaimer that anything that I say is probably just on my mind because it is most recent.
Fair.
Or because it had an impact on me at some point. But if you ask me these same questions again a week from now, my answers could be totally different.
That was
So
a real roundabout way to say you didn't
prepare.
Yeah, you didn't prepare.
No, fuck off. That is not. This is not about preparation.
just
I could think
kidding.
about these questions for a month. I could try and
okay,
prepare, and I
all right.
wouldn't. Like, I can't tell you my favorite song, like, just as an example. That's not on this list, but
Nope.
But I think that's
Might be
probably
now.
why we balance each other so out, because I live my life with lists. I rank everything that I possibly do.
And I find
fair.
that talking like about lists or subjects
Yeah.
are good conversation starters. So
they're good. Yeah. So you know what?
maybe we have a nice balance here.
Agreed. And some of these things too that really maybe in the grandiose lists of life, would they be the top ones? No, but in this moment right now, sure. Because they're recent.
Yeah,
So we
fair.
have
That's
it
all I'm
as
saying.
So
as a
Okay.
stepping stone,
Okay,
right?
can
So-
you answer the fucking question?
yeah. All right. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Go, Megan, go.
What's it called? Wings and beer. Beer and wings.
There you
Yes!
Yeah.
All right.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
this little hole in the wall.
Yep.
Spadina and
Yep.
Richmond.
Yep.
The bar is literally called Wings and
and
beer,
Beer.
people. So you know what they have. And if
What do
you
they have?
Want
Tell us.
that. You should go there. They do also have things other than beer.
Mm-hmm.
They do also have things other than wings, but most
haven't
importantly,
tried
they
them.
have TVs all over the walls. They
Yeah.
get a pretty good crowd for
Pretty good audio too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wings are often half price. They do them up in any style.
Grilled, battered, not battered, what's breaded or
roasted,
roasted.
Fried.
41 different like flavors. Probably more than
Yeah.
that.
Sous
Probably
vide.
60. Sous vide.
Sun baked.
Some baked, some not.
Solar
What?
power.
No, I love
Some?
it.
Some.
Sun.
Sun.
As in, like-
Sunshine.
Oh,
baked.
that's some baked. No, but I think the
And-
best part about it. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just
Is the beer or the wings?
Well,
all
you
of
guys
it's
are beer
delicious.
connoisseurs,
All of
yeah.
it's delicious.
I just remember where we were trying to figure out a spot of where we were going to watch the game, and Will's was like, "So I found this new place. It's just called Wings and Beer."
Spot on impersonation of me, by the way.
And I'm like, "Okay, fine." Just thinking it was like legit this random hole in the wall, not really trusting it. But turns out, yes, a kind of a hole in the wall, but a good hole in the wall where the food was good.
There's good holes
The
in the
beer
wall.
was cheap. The vodka sodas were cheap, which is what I particularly care about. And the company was good. So
And the entertainment of drunken locals that you would expect.
Yes.
Oh man. yeah.
Yes.
That one night we saw a guy. Like people had to forcibly move him out of there.
It was
His girlfriend
oh
is
my
like
God.
Yeah, not
all
happy.
her force to get him out of the door.
And then the friends
And
were
it's-
just egging him on, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
disaster. Like,
One guy was the token friend was
Ugh.
filming it. Other guys were egging him on.
yep.
Don't be like him.
Don't be like them. So yeah, Wings of Beer. What at Spadina and Adelaide?
Wow, we're free ad.
Free advertising.
Yeah, wow.
You'll see us there on Leaf Games
North
or
of
Wednesdays when it's half price wings and cheap beer.
Yeah, we were just there. What, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? To watch the Raptors play Philadelphia.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We'll probably be back before Christmas. We'll probably have Christmas there.
Yeah.
See you there.
That's the spot. Wings and beer and eggnog and
Christmas.
Rudolph. Okay. So
Do you have a favorite bar then, Wells?
yeah, I have a list here, but like I'm
A
boring.
list.
Well, I mean, like I have a list of
It's
with
not
I
wings
prepared
and
for
beer.
this, Meg. I don't know if you know what that means here,
Parrot Silent J.
No, I was introduced to a bar called The Greater Good. I don't know if
I've
you've
heard
heard
of
of it.
this,
Yeah. It's just north of DuPont on Dufferin. And it's just like a 2-floor sort of like beer bar. Like they have one of those like giant lists above the bar of what's rotating and stuff. And then the best part I thought they had was they don't really have food. They have a pizzeria inside the bar called North of Brooklyn Pizza, and you can get like full pies for like $19, and they're like so good.
So North of Brooklyn is served out of a few bars around the city.
Yeah,
as
it's
I
smart.
found
It's very
out.
smart.
Yeah. So there's a spot up off Bathurst, north of something.
That's not the place that's doing the pizza vending machines, is it?
No,
What?
it's like fresh baked. It's delicious.
Yeah, there's a company that's doing pizza vending machines for like $3.99 in like 2 minutes. You put in your order, you put in your money, and it pops out the pizza that you want. They're on street corners. I think
Well,
they put
that's
up a
very
couple in.
like China, isn't it?
Or European.
I don't know. I've heard like China's got vending
Yeah?
machines for everything.
What?
Oh
So
yeah,
imagine,
Japan definitely does.
Japan, yeah.
Yes, you can go from like beers to used underwear.
Yes.
You can get used underwear in a
Yes.
vending machine.
Yeah, you know, if you need a side hustle, you can do it.
If you're into
Who
that.
used it before, and like did they just recycle it back?
No, like you submit, like there's
You know,
women,
this
like they'll wear the
fetish.
used
Guys,
underwear and they'll put it in there, and then people
Yeah.
will buy the used underwear.
Wells is not into
Oh my
this.
gosh, he's not.
I'm just
Moving on.
yeah, sure, okay.
Have you guys been to Crafty Coyote?
I've never
No.
heard of it.
Okay, so it's a bar I literally went to for the first time last night before my soccer game. It's a 10 p.m. game. We did the pre-beers.
Nice, yeah. Well,
Bathurst Bloor-ish, cute little spot. Then, as the name suggests, they have mostly craft beers on tap, but they've got like a big board
Crafty
of
Coyote.
Crafty
I like the
Coyote,
name.
yeah.
I appreciate
Where
that.
where is it at Bathurst and Bloor? My gym's right there.
Oh.
Is it? You know where Coda is?
Yeah.
Is it on that north side, south side? It's okay.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on
You
that
didn't
one.
prepare on that one either.
No.
I get it.
What was
Listen,
the?
that was a spontaneous thought. It
Where
just-
did we go for that girls' night? Oh, Regulars. The Regulars is right there at
That's at
King
King. Yeah.
and,
It used to be
um,
Blowfish.
Yeah, it used to be both. I mean, it was fine. It's overpriced.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, maybe not overpriced,
Hey,
but
free popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, and they refill your bowl
A popcorn?
obnoxiously.
Yeah.
Yes.
you get free popcorn, but you drop like $150, so it's cool.
What?
Well, if you
On
drink
what?
like Sue Ellen.
This is true. I can't go
Which is
anywhere for less than
impressive,
100.
Wow.
I don't get out of bed
Disclaimer.
for less than $100 bill. No.
They've done
for
it up
paying.
nicely in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's a cool spot.
Good for the gram. They've got good little signage for the gram.
They do.
The servers
I'm
were
finding
nice.
that bars now are like
Yeah.
relying on that. Like
It's advertising. That's all it is,
Yeah.
right? That's word of mouth.
they're like, what can we throw up here that's like grammable?
Well, that's their way of getting out their advertising, so they got to do it. But yeah, lots of cool spots, I think. But wings and beer.
Wings and beer.
Back to basics and
yeah,
fundamentals.
wings and beer. It's funny between all these like swanky bars talking about pictures for Instagram, then we just have wings and beer. It's like we're not kidding. Like we literally just have wings and beer. And,
Straight to the point.
yeah,
I like it.
I did, yeah. It was good fun. Good job, Wells.
and I recommend Greater Good. Okay, we'll switch gears to best movie. Best movie you saw this year. So, okay, I'll leave it at that. Best movie of the year or best movie you saw this year. So, if like you saw Die Hard for the first time, you can put that on the list. If you saw, or if you want to be more traditional, like the best movie I saw this year, I'll say what I saw. So, I'll start then, just so
Go
you
for
guys
it.
can think.
Go for
I
it.
have a number one and a runner up. So, number one is Annihilation, starring Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Oh, right, yeah. you
Tessa
said so.
Thompson.
I like Natalie
It's on the
Portman.
Netflix, yes.
It's on Netflix now. The director is the guy who did the movie called Ex Machina. And he also
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
China.
Yeah, and he also wrote like 28 Days Later, Sunshine. So he's got kind of an interesting mind. Anyways, the less you know of this movie, the better. It's really fucked up. There's some crazy visuals. It's kind of creepy, and yeah, basically it's just a good movie. Like it stuck with me for a couple days. I think that's a sign of a good movie. And I was talking about it. Me and my roommate watched it, so we were talking about it for like days and trying to figure out what we just watched. I recommend seeing it. If any movie does that to you, I think it's a good movie. My runner-up is Black Panther.
I still haven't seen it. Is it on Netflix now?
Yeah.
I heard
Is it
that.
now?
Okay, gotta watch.
It's been on Netflix for a while.
And when is
Infinity
War's coming on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm waiting for. Christmas Day, I know what I'm doing.
Black Panther.
Screw you, vampire. I'm going to watch Infinity War.
Do you guys have any movies at all that you might want to put on this list?
Titanic.
Nice. Is that with Leonardo DiCaprio?
It is.
Da Vinci.
Hyphenated.
Yes.
Hyphenated.
Well, no. This is a
Wait, let me
question.
guess. Star is Born.
Yeah. So again, another disclaimer for me is that I have
moving
been
on.
the biggest Lady Gaga fan for over 10 years. She's
That's
my
funny.
queen.
You don't look like a gay male.
Yeah, previous life, I was totally a drag queen. Not even gonna lie. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So I've been waiting for this movie forever.
Really? Because
This
it's come out
version?
3 times. Yeah,
This
I was
version
gonna
of
say
the
it's come out
movie?
3 times before.
Well, when she was announced in like 2016 that they were doing the remake with Bradley Cooper, I was like, yes, I'm all about this. So I have been in part of all the hype and everything like this, and I saw it, and it. So you haven't seen it yet, have you? You both of you guys haven't seen it yet.
No, or have I yet?
No,
It's
I'm waiting for it to come out on.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, I want the features when I see this movie.
So the hype is real, honestly, in terms of a movie that gets you emotionally, that is relevant in today, that deals with issues that are very pertinent. It absolutely hits all that. And being that it was a directorial debut, I think in terms of debuts, in terms of like Lady Gaga or her film debut and Bradley Cooper with his directorial debut, it far exceeded expectations.
Really?
Are they lovers now?
We stan them, yes.
What does that mean?
Stan is like the fictional Twitterverse of people putting celebrities together.
But I think they put themselves together.
Yeah,
no?
but like the fans have to stan them. Like,
Oh, I thought she was like, wait, in real life?
well, we want it to happen because they're absolutely
Doesn't she have
adorable.
a husband?
She's engaged to a talent agent named Christian Carano. I believe that's his name. She's engaged with him now.
Doesn't sound like Bradley Cooper to me.
It's not, but like she would be beautiful, Bradley Cooper. But anyways, like I said, it's relevant, it's topical, it makes you just feel everything. It also stuck with me for a number of days.
Okay.
And her performance is amazing.
Yeah, she's nominated for like everything.
She's gonna win the Oscar. Bradley Cooper, I don't think is gonna win the Oscar for Best Actor, but he will win it for Best Direction because just the
really.
yes.
You think so? Over, I don't know.
I absolutely agree. For being his debut and the way that it completely immerses the viewer into the movie, and it's not just this like haphazard musical that you feel like you're one step in or away from. You're actually in it. So I think he did a fantastic job.
I think he'll get nominated, but I think you should check out. It's tough to watch because it's kind of slow. It's a weird movie, but it's called Roma, and it's on Netflix, and it's by Alfonso Cuarón, who did Gravity and Children of Men, and it's pretty bonkers how he does it.
Okay, I know. I mean,
But it's
I'll
just-
do that. Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I agree with that. But then also, so 2 weeks later, I then saw Bohemian Rhapsody. So there's 3 people in my life whom, if I could spend any amount of time with, living or dead, it would be Lady Gaga, Freddie Mercury, and Princess Diana. So the fact that I've got 2 of those 3 that came out with like pretty intense movies, and that Freddie Mercury is my other freaking hero.
Well, Princess Diana's at a disadvantage.
She's
Unless they did a Lady Gaga movie starring Princess. Wait,
Princess
Diana movie
starring Lady Gaga.
starring Lady Gaga.
Yeah. So
with
Bohemian Rhapsody
Queen
was up
doing
there.
the soundtrack. Yeah.
That would be my. I would like. I couldn't handle it. Like literally, I cry over the silliest things. Now I would go into like a years-long depression for no reason because I would love it so much. But Bohemian Rhapsody, unfortunately, was panned by a lot of critics. I don't know why, because it was just enjoyable. It was fun. And for those who have seen it, the last 20 minutes and what they did with it, I was just a bumbling mess.
But Homie's supposed to be nominated for an Academy Award too, right?
Yeah. So I think he will probably get the Best Actor award, where Bradley Cooper won't. Gaga will get Best Actress, but Bradley Cooper will get Best Director.
Oh, you've heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here.
Anything, Meg, that caught your eye this year, movie-wise,
This year?
besides Titanic? If you had nothing, it's fine.
Did we watch any? No, we've never watched any movies together.
Yeah, I haven't been to the theater in a very long time.
It doesn't matter.
We've
You-
watched
I saw
Catfish.
Annihilation on Netflix, so I didn't.
Okay. No, I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
Okay.
Catfish in Jamaica?
Catfish.
Is that a movie?
No, it's not.
No, we just watched Catfish.
There is Catfish.
There's
Was
Catfish
based
the
off
movie.
the movie. Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next subject then. Still sticking with like entertainment. Best album. if you listened to an album fully this year, do you have any?
Of this year?
Yeah, something that came out this year.
No.
Okay.
Star is Born soundtrack.
Is there new music?
Yes,
this
there
year?
is. There's lots. So here's the thing. So the problem
Is there new music?
there is a lot of the artists these days. Though,
Don't you have Spotify?
Yes. They just don't release full albums kind of like they used to, right? So they'll drop a few singles, they'll do a couple collaborative things, and then maybe they'll... It's not like it used to be when you go to the store and you'd actually buy a CD of a full album. They're dropping like singles over time, and then they're like, okay, well, it's all going to be on a CD. So I kind of struggled with this too, where I was trying to think of all of the recent acts that I like. None of them really put albums out this year. They dropped some tunes, but that was it.
Eminem has a new album.
Actually, that
Yeah,
one was really
Eminem,
decent.
yeah.
I did listen to that one, yeah, for Kamikaze.
So
That one was good.
yeah,
Kamikaze.
he's still got it.
Kamikaze?
But again, the correct answer is A Star Is Born soundtrack.
Is that your
featuring-
final answer?
Yes,
Locking
it
it
is.
in? Okay.
I'm locking in.
Okay.
It's unfortunately wasn't able to be nominated for Grammys because it was released October 5th, and the cutoff for the Grammys was October the 1st, so it's going to be
That was
nominated.
poor planning. Poor
Well,
planning
no,
on their
because
part.
within the album it has
So
spoilers.
it'll be nominated next year.
It's going to be nominated next year because they didn't want to release it before October 5th because there were spoilers in the soundtrack for the movie. So they couldn't. Okay? But that's why the singles like Shallow were nominated for Grammys because they released those 2 weeks before.
Huh. I guess those don't spoil the movie.
No, they don't.
Okay.
They just add.
Okay.
Apparently, I have a job in a life, but I just spend all my time with A Star Is Born. Fun factoids.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I have Astroworld by Travis Scott.
Oh.
So I've been like kind of like shitting on like hip hop lately, and I don't like any Drake album really. Like I feel like
Take Care.
maybe,
Great
but like
album.
I feel like Drake is every 10 songs there's a song I like by his that I really like.
What?
And- yeah, I don't know.
One
man.
out of every 10 on
Yeah,
Take
so
Care
like
you
every
liked?
album he has, there's maybe like 2 songs or like
I was
a
going
song
to say,
and a
that's
half.
2 because he puts out an album with 20 songs.
Yeah,
and
so like the
remixes
one he
on
had
it.
this year was fucking garbage. That album was terrible. And there was like maybe 2 songs I like. Like I think like maybe what's that one? Oh man, I can't think of the song off the top of my head. I guess it wasn't that good.
It was off the Views?
No, off the newest one.
Of Adonis? Not Adonis. What was the
No!
one called?
Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Passion Fruit.
Passion.
No, but that's when I like that song. Anyways, look, I'm not talking about Drake. I'm talking about the Travis Scott album. It's it's Astroworld. It's trippy. It's like it feels like it's a throwback to like actual music albums where it's not like track. It's all one giant like track, like kind of like
It's like a
the
movie.
hip hop version of like a Pink Floyd album. Like it was.
Okay.
It's very trippy. Like you could like eat mushrooms and like listen to it and be. I
It's
don't
right
know.
up your alley.
Yeah. It was. I think I don't know, man. Like it's just a really good piece of work in music.
Did he release it pre or post Baby?
Dirt.
Has he gone all soft?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
you're a big Kid Cudi fan, right?
Older Kid Cudi.
So I thought I had read something that he had done some stuff with Kid Cudi, or he's working, or like it's very influenced by Kid Cudi,
yeah,
which kind of
so
makes
he-
sense if that. Yeah.
I heard stuff about how like he spent so much time on this album. Like it I get it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like in that sort of trippy hip hop sort of way. But he has like tons of people on it. Like Drake's on it. Frank Ocean, The Weeknd,
I love Frank.
Kendrick Lamar, Sway Lee from Ray Shremmond. Like, everybody's on it. Kanye is his brother-in-law, I guess, right, or something.
Wow.
And like,
Something like
he says he's not on it, but he like produces a couple of tracks. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a really good. It's like really good album. I find it like I can put it on anytime, listen to it, and I've really been disappointed with how hip hop has been over the last couple of years. So it was a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Just a little side story because you mentioned Kid Cudi and it made me giggle because on an episode of Jeopardy that I watched recently, there was this
On
clue.
Netflix because it's all on there now.
No, I recorded on my own.
Me too. Still, I don't trust Netflix to hold them. I need my
Question, though,
PVR.
about Netflix Jeopardy. Is it like daily, like updated? How does it work?
don't know because I haven't actually looked.
It
at
just has I haven't looked into the year because I need to because I have 100 episodes on my
Yeah.
PVR to keep me busy.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to sidetrack
I've got
you.
to say that there's just previous seasons. Like you can go back 42 seasons worth of
What?
of all the Jeopardy.
42.
But anyway, sorry, Kid Cudi.
Yeah,
yes.
Kid Cudi.
Yes.
Anyway, so there was this
Jeopardy.
clue. I don't remember the wording of it, but it was about Kid Rock, and they put up this picture of somebody that has worked with him, like collaborated with him, and the contestants had to guess, and this lady, she guessed, who is Kid Cudi? And Alice was like, no. Anyways, it was Uncle Cracker. Like
Nice.
a very white, like country dude.
Follow me. Everything
Yeah, that's
is
it, right?
alright.
Uncle Cracker.
Yeah.
Wait, then I was thinking something else, but that was Bubba Sparks.
Bubba
So,
Sparks. Oh gosh.
let's not delve down this territory. Okay, so that's best album.
Oh, and I would also put in Post Malone's Beer Bongs and Bentleys, but that's okay.
Okay, all right.
I just put it in there because
I had a
Is
runner
that from this year?
It's this.
Was
It came
before
out this year.
October?
Oh, for it was because I think it is actually nominated for album of
okay.
the year, so it did make the cutoff. It was released in like the spring, but just because Post Malone could do no wrong in my eyes. Post Malone, if you're
Nice
listening.
for What is the song
If you're
that I'm
listening.
talking about Drake. I really like that song.
Do you think that whole Meek Mill thing was just for publicity though? Because then they released.
It's all for publicity.
Now they're working together.
It's all about publicity.
Yeah, I agree. And so next, I've already called the
Pusha
Drake and
T.
Kanye.
Yeah, they're
Drake
going to be
and Kanye
collab. Yeah.
collab.
For
like,
sure. Yeah.
Nobody give into it because then they win. Kanye wins.
They're all trying to help each other out. They're all a community. They're like a nice, friendly community.
I heard
Don't
hump
you
each other,
threaten
not
my
help each other,
family.
and I was like that too.
Okay, next, sticking with media, best new show that you've either discovered this year or got into.
I know what Sue Ellen has as her answer, and I agree with it,
Yeah.
so I'll let her go. with
Star
this.
is Born.
It's a show about my life. No, I'm kidding. So I don't necessarily think it was released this year, but I discovered it this year, which is Atypical on Netflix. They just wrapped up season 2.
Yeah.
They're filming filming season 3 right now, and it's just freaking enjoyable. I can keep saying freaking fucking enjoyable because I can say that now.
Seems forced.
It's smart. It is a little bit forced, but it's smart. It's fun.
What's it about?
Brings light to mental illness
and
specifically autism.
Yep.
Really?
So it centers around a family in which the oldest son, there's 2 siblings, a girl and a boy. The oldest son has been living with autism and just kind of them navigating through life and how really autism can kind of take a hold on an entire family and just him trying to find some normalcy in a not so normal world. And it kind of resonated with me because it was very similar to one of my nephews who has been living with high functioning autism all his life, and it was nice to kind of see that perspective done in a very smart yet funny way with respect, but was pertinent.
Yeah, it's not too heavy.
No, it's not heavy
Like
at all.
you're not sad at the end of an episode.
No, it's so well done. And after the first season, they actually got a lot of feedback from those in the autism community to hire actors who didn't just portray those with autism, but actually had autism.
Okay.
So they kind of engaged a lot more of the autism community to have those actors that had that to participate in the show as well, which was kind of cool. So it's just so well done.
And this is called Atypical.
Atypical
And it's on
on
Netflix.
Netflix. They just season 1 and 2 is there, and they're filming season 3 right now.
Okay.
I just killed a brand new show. 6. Well, I mean, it's only 6 episodes. Killed it on Sunday. I think
Killed
it was.
it.
Killed it.
It's called The Innocent Man. It's on Netflix. I believe it's brand spanking new.
Oh.
It's a documentary type show that is actually like John Grisham wrote a book.
Oh, that'd be good.
And it is not like it's based on actual events, so like a true story. But John Grisham wrote, and it was his first. I believe it was his first nonfiction. So he did a ton of research and investigation into a couple of these stories, but it's essentially a crime story about. I don't want to give anything away, but about wrongful conviction and about the advancement, the development of like DNA testing and forensic testing developed over the years, and
Sounds
I'm
like
sure there's
Making a Murderer.
it is
Real,
very
real
similar
life,
style,
real
very
life
similar
making.
style.
Wait,
Yeah.
Making Murder is also real life,
Yeah.
but like
Well, and I'm
super
sure
No, this
real life.
sorry. Is this a TV show or is this
This is a show. Yeah, six episodes.
is
on
it a
Netflix.
documentary?
It's documentary style. Yeah.
but
it's
fiction.
Fiction.
No, nonfiction.
Oh, this sounds exactly like Making a Murderer.
It is. That's right. Yeah, very
Oh,
similar.
okay.
Very similar. I would bet that there's a million stories like this about.
Well, I mean, Serial started it with the whole
Right.
Adnan Syed thing, right? And-
Right.
Right.
But I mean, the number and like they give some
Actually,
crazy stat in the show. Actually, there's something like I think it was like 4% of every incarcerated person, like every person in prison right now, is wrongfully convicted in the United States, and 4% of that is like 90,000 people
That's insane.
that have been wrongfully
Wow.
convicted
Oh my
and are in
God.
prison right now for a crime that they did not commit. And
Yeah.
so this story follows two different crimes with like, you know, similar outcome where they go back
Yeah.
and review the case and realize like shit.
Yeah. So when we
insane.
say it's like Making a Murderer, it's just like it's another of the 90,000 people
It's
that
crazy.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now here on it came out on the 14th of December. So
Yes.
I was right on it.
you
There
weren't
go.
kidding about
You
recency
were,
bias.
Yes. I don't know. It gives
Yeah,
a whole
so
other
check it out.
perspective to like.
Pretty
I know
cool.
people like shit on like defense lawyers all the time, but I feel like they are always like, if it just saves one innocent person from being put away for life, it makes it all worth it, right? Like,
well,
and
like
it's true.
the what's it called? The Innocence Project
Yes.
is like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do. That's their
Yeah.
that's their
Yeah.
mission is.
Yeah.
One innocent person who goes away to jail for life completely unravels the justice system as we know it, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense to try and protect those who need
Yeah.
it. But,
Yeah.
wait, what? Oh, I was also going to talk about The Sinner. You made me watch The Sinner this year, too.
Ooh, which
Season 1 with just Jessica Biel.
Season 1 only.
Yeah.
Okay.
I binged that from like 9 p.m. to 6 in the morning.
Yeah. It's
On a work
binge-worthy. It's
weekday.
binge-worthy. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Calling
So
in
is season
sick.
2 up yet? On
I don't
Netflix?
think so.
Okay.
No.
So season 2 you'll have to watch as well.
Okay. No, I haven't seen season.
Like
Is it on
equally-
Crave?
Equally twisty, and I'm not sure. I watched it as it was on.
And this is The Sinner you guys
The
are
Sinner,
recommending.
The
Yeah.
Sinner. And I was
Jessica
a Jessica
Biel.
Biel
Jessica Timberlake?
hater.
Jessica Timberlake,
Yeah, I didn't like Jessica Biel, but in this, I was like, I'm sorry, girl. I wish I never doubted you. But she was
How'd
great.
you not
Yeah.
like Jessica Biel?
Seventh
Seventh Heaven?
Yeah,
She
what?
just bothered me.
because she's so perfect.
Well, no, I mean,
She's so like next
her
door
weird
neighborly,
like horse mouth.
She has a funny
and-
nose.
Whoa, easy. She's not Sarah Jessica Parker.
Why the long face?
Yeah, like sorry, horse mouth?
It's like I don't know.
got
She
big teeth.
just she. There was something about her that I couldn't get behind, but now I can
hot.
get behind.
Hot.
Yeah, I mean, and she's got a good behind, so maybe that's why I'm
She's
going to get
fucking
behind
great.
her.
Yeah, there's like
she's
that movie
great.
she was in with
But, the
Adam Sandler.
with the I thought you were talking about the one where she's got the blue bikini.
Wait, oh, that's
Firefly?
Summer Fun. or
Summer Fun?
something,
Oh, I don't know.
With the Freddie Prinze Jr. There's like a movie with like Adam Sandler and
Oh, yes. When
And
and then she gets naked or something.
yeah. But you don't actually see her.
No,
You
I
see
know
her
what you're
butt,
talking about.
which
Yeah.
is like her.
Worth
She's got a-
watching.
thing.
Now
Worth
I can
watching.
appreciate her. I think when I was just younger,
She looks the same
yeah.
as she did like on Seventh Heaven.
I
almost.
was just, I had I just didn't like her, but now I feel bad about it. I'm sorry.
Hey man,
I respect. I was a hater when
You
I was
raising your
24.
hand?
Yeah, I have another one.
Oh my god.
Go for it.
Yeah, I prepared for this one.
There you go.
Yeah, I see your notes there. You're.
For those of you that have Prime TV,
Oh wow.
which I just discovered I
Another
had
plug.
with my
Prime wings and
membership.
beer.
I think it's called Homecoming.
Oh, you were
Oh,
talking
Julia
about this.
Julia
Roberts.
Roberts.
We were talking about this like a
You were
week or two
talking
ago.
about
Yeah,
At
yeah.
Wings and Beer.
That's another
Yes.
one. I watched it in one day.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Julia Roberts. It's one season. I can't remember how many episodes,
No,
but
I've
like
heard-
half-hour episodes.
I heard
6.
it's really good, and I heard one of the main guys is really good, and he's from
He's
Toronto.
trying- yes.
And he's in the new movie called If Beale Street Could Talk, and he's getting hyped
He's
for
good.
that.
I thought he got nominated too
Boom,
for like
boom,
a
boom.
SAG award or a Critics' Choice Award.
SAG?
SAG.
I wish I knew which
Screen Actors
character you were
Guild.
talking about, but
He's black.
okay, I know the one. He's very attractive.
Yeah,
as
he's
well,
from
then.
Toronto.
Yeah, he's from Toronto. Yeah, he is.
Well, amen. Anyways, yeah, really good, kind of like psychological thriller, like
Yeah.
messes with your brain a little bit, but gets you thinking and ropes you in. So
Now,
worth
is this a
checking out.
documentary too, or is
No,
it? No,
I don't. Well, I don't believe so.
I'm
no,
just kidding. Okay.
I think it's fiction, but could be based on like I don't know. No,
Everything's
it's
based
fiction
on
for sure.
something, right? It's got to be.
But
Except for
yeah,
movie Annihilation.
10 quick half-hour episodes, so you can kill it
Oh,
in
nice.
an afternoon. Go for
Stephen
it.
James. He plays Walter Cruz.
Strong Toronto
Is that
name.
him?
I don't know. He's
Yeah, Stephen James.
Yeah, he's
Or Stefan.
Stefan.
Stepan. Stepan.
Stefania.
So, yeah.
Okay, I didn't have a new show, but two shows that I think came out one I know came out in 2017 and I still watch is Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
With Donald Glover kind of doing everything with that show.
yeah. I
This is
stopped
America.
watching that, but didn't not intentionally. I think it's because it wasn't. What are you watching it on?
FX,
Okay.
which I have. I'm one of those people who still have cable, but
Yeah.
like
No,
I
I do
actually
too.
have
Yeah.
like
Is
the-
FX on demand?
I don't know.
If you have,
I record, so I PVR it, so
Okay.
it's like when it's
Yeah, yeah.
recorded, it's like, hey man,
I
Atlanta's
think
here.
it is. I think if you have the TMN, which is now Crave, I
Right.
think FX. I don't know. I have to check.
Okay.
I will check. later.
But
I'll
that's
let
a PVR that, and from the Netflix category, American Vandal.
Oh, I watched that
The
so
poop.
bad.
Yeah, it's
Season
Is it
2,
good?
season 1.
Season 1 and season 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've watched both seasons as well.
I really didn't think they could capture the same sort of brilliance they did with season 1 and season
Again,
2, but
yeah.
they did it just as well.
And it's like, yeah,
I still will remember though in season 1. You guys have seen it, right?
I've watched both
I
seasons.
have
yeah.
not, but
Yep,
I
you
know
haven't
the
watched-
premise.
Oh, so season 1, I just think one of the best scenes I've ever seen filmed in like a TV show was when they recreated that party scene and how they were doing it from all the different angles, and
Right.
it was unreal. And then also the diagrams they would do, and he was like jerking off the
Yeah.
she was jerking off the dude on like the side of the
Oh, on the dock?
yeah, and they even like put
Yeah.
like an extra long penis for the guy for some reason. But yeah, that's tremendous work done on those shows.
I'm wondering, is it the same people who did American Vandal that are now doing that show? Have you heard of it? Real Bros of Simi Valley.
I don't know what that is.
It's
I'm like a year or two behind in the
okay.
TV world.
I think it's like playing on kind of like the real world, like and like Jersey Shore type stuff that MTV would do.
Well, I mean, they're capturing the mockumentary.
Yeah, it is a mockumentary type thing, and I've been meaning to actually watch the Real Bros of Simi Valley because there was one clip that keeps popping up everywhere where this guy is yelling at the 1-year-old baby. Do you remember, like where he's like Hawk is like. And he's mad at his friend because the 1-year-old baby is taking up all of his friend's time, and the friend happens to be the father, and they're having like a stare off. He's like, "Why are you looking at me, bro? Why you've only been friends with like my bro for like a year, maybe, because he's like a 12-year-old toddler or 12-month-old toddler." And I've been meaning to watch it, but it's on Facebook Watch. So like Facebook's doing like they'll just stream.
They're
They're
dabbing
Yeah.
into the thing.
God.
yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Too many things.
Yeah, well, you don't need cable eventually.
No, you
except
don't.
for live sports.
Sports.
Speaking of sports, what a segue.
Segue.
This is actually the only 1.5 I have of sports on here. This is the full sports category I have. Like I have another one about best sports bar later on, but I think we already know what that one is. This is best Canadian athlete of 2018. So kind of like I don't know. What inspired me for this topic was we had the Lou Marsh Award handed out last week in Canada. And if you know who this gentleman is,
Yes.
all the best to you.
Yes.
No one knows who this guy is, but
Oh, except everyone at this table right now.
yeah, well, we only know like if I asked you this question before that award was handed out, would you have honestly said him? No.
Well, because he's not an athlete that you follow outside of like the Olympics, let's say.
For sure.
Yes.
Now, my thing is with the Lou Marsh Award is that it seems like they always give it to an Olympian in the odd years, right? So, but
Fair.
like it's like how many actually deserved it? Like for best Canadian athlete, I don't know. Like obviously Penny Alexiak like was deserving, right?
Yeah.
And other ones are gonna give like Donovan Bailey, like people who like were ridiculous, right? But like this, I honestly don't remember when this guy won his gold medal, and I don't know why they didn't give it to the dance group or whatever, right?
That's
Tessa and
part
Scott.
of my argument. Yes.
Because in 2001 they gave it, or 2000 they gave it to the other Saleh and Pelletier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know that whole Lou Marsh thing kind of rubs me the wrong way. But if you guys had to choose, do you still agree with what the Lou Marsh Award is, or do you guys have your own favorite athlete or best athlete of the year for Canadian athletes?
You want to go?
No, go ahead.
So I think
Vladdy Guerrero is Canadian, so it does count.
he was born in Montreal.
Yep.
It's true. So I want to say that the Lou Marsh Award, as much as they won't say that it's for this, I think that it is meant as a platform for kind of like the understated, not sports
Yeah.
Canadian athlete, right? Obviously.
But then, like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like every other time, like, they'll give it to Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or
but they
Wayne
Gretzky.
Gretzky
They've
or
backed
Mario
away from
Lemieux.
that though, because I feel like they get their own praise and their own recognition, especially with like the final NHL awards that they,
totally.
get the Morris Trophy or whatever it is. That they get that at the end of the year, whereas these sort of Olympians that are really killing it on the World Cup circuit, the Olympic circuit, and we don't hear about it. That's their way to recognize.
It's like they
them.
only give us those guys on the even years where Olympics are held. Whereas last year we got Joey Votto, right? And then, like it's like on the odd years they give us Connor McDavid, Joey Votto, Sidney Crosby, all the like major athletes.
I would say like the argument that can be made for like Mikael Kingsbury is that he's actually achieved what no one else has in freestyle skiing in either Canada or around the world, really. And that it's been continuous. I mean, the argument could be made because God knows that I love fucking, Scott Moyer and Tessa Virtue. But once they won at the Olympics, it was done. They just went on their like Scott and Tessa tour and just kind of right where Kingsbury kept going and was still winning on the world circuit. So I feel it's the very Canadian thing to recognize those with this award who don't get recognized in any other way.
Well, I think also when you're talking about an athlete from like a non-mainstream sport, and as I mentioned, we don't often follow them outside of the Olympics, let's say, that we automatically go back to the ones that we did see, like who won the gold medals recently, who's most recent, most relevant. And so maybe Kingsbury doesn't come to the top of our minds, but I would hope that the Lou Marsh panel, whoever's voting, however this gets decided, is
bunch of old white dudes,
is following their career extensively and knows exactly what they've accomplished recently. Like, I mean, Kingsbury, because he's in the news recently this weekend, like he just got the gold medal at the World Cup. I forget where it was held.
Yep.
He did it with food poisoning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like there was a story on it.
Oh,
like
of course.
felt like shit, but killed his run. Goes home with a gold medal.
No, his athleticism is the top echelon. So you can't debate that.
He's who's to say? Like I haven't followed his career this year. I don't know how many
I don't know
how many events he's won.
It.
Well, exactly, but so I don't honestly. It doesn't bother me if they pick somebody that I don't disagree with any Canadian athlete winning any award. Honestly, it like makes me so happy just to hear the list of like nominees. Like Brooke Henderson was nominated this year.
My argument was I'm nothing against Mikael Kingsbury or any of that, right? It's just like when you want to, let's say there was like after every country names like their best athlete of the year. Okay. You want to be proud of what you're presenting to the rest of the world, right? Like you're standing like in Canada's best athlete is, and they rattle off their accomplishments for the years, and you're like, wow, like that's that I feel proud that that's our representative for best athlete, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I felt Brooke Henderson was probably number one for me, or Taylor Hall.
I would agree, but I don't know if they could list all of that athlete's accomplishments under their name. Like who? Like I'm just saying, we don't know that Mikael Kingsbury didn't win, or do better than Brooke did all year long. Like, I mean, what you know, you know what you